Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Dandadan, episode 3. So excited. Granny on granny action this week on Dandadan. Leave a like on the video, please. It helps us out because when these videos go live, there's a lot of competitive search results shenanigans. So every like and comment that you leave actually could potentially give us like a huge amount of exposure. It actually, if you're watching this in like the first 2 or 3 hours or even first day, it's a big deal. So leave a like and a comment, please and thank you, and subscribe for more Dandadan and other things. Uzumaki was supposed to be posted yesterday. Sorry about that. It'll be posted soon. We watched it yesterday and it was really good. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, episode 3. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for Blue Lock. Stay tuned for Avatar. Check out our One Piece channel. But most of all, please like the video. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe on these videos. Thank you. With that said, we hope you enjoy Granny on Granny action time. Let's go. She just gets everything wrong. She's a traveling like TV psychic person. She's like whatever. Dodoria Santa.
Oh, she's just gonna jump out.
Is she carrying a sword? Oh, he told the cab driver, or she told the cab driver to leave because they were getting close to her place. And she could sense the presence. Panty shot? What the fuck, dude? As if that's like the worst thing. Oh my god, it's Nobara!
Whoa.
Imagine not knowing this is what she looked like after seeing the flashbacks of like a kindly old lady and then just seeing this fox.
I like how it's also like not even a short dress, it's just literally like a shirt.
Yeah.
With the cape as well.
Yeah, I wonder if she was right about the idol dude and he was just lying to keep up a facade or something.
Yeah.
Or if like, you know, that's bullshit. That's just how she makes her living and it's bullshit, but it's...
But she's actually a psychic, but
that's not what being a psychic is
yeah.
about. Like, everyone has this idea of it, but it's...
Yeah.
I probably listened to this song like 200 times. It's crazy. Oh, I thought that was a golf tee in the ground, but it's a nail. I'll never get over that with her doing that crazy... It's so... Like, as animation, it's so good. I mean, this whole OP is incredible.
Oh. She's like... Oh.
She pinned it to that circle.
Damn.
Oh, blind? Or did she put on some kind of a... Oh, she set that up when she showed up so that it would go in there when it attacked her blind spot.
Damn.
She's a... Oh, what the hell?
Whoa. Oh.
Her bat is a giant...
That's so
pencil?
sick.
A warding nail. No bra is a dangerous move in that outfit. I know you want to be king of the pirates or whatever, but chill.
Damn.
Eat that! She'd be like, I don't give a shit. Yeah. Well, that's not good. The hell? She wake up like, I killed your boyfriend. It's funny how she's like a spitting image of her grandmother.
流れでそうなった。バカのは日本の宝だぜ。ねえ、聞いてんのかよ。てか男のやつ見なかった。そいつうちがいないとや。悪霊ならぶっ殺したぜ。はあ？悪霊ってどんなやつ？おめえ幽霊なんか信じてねえだろうがよ。エセ霊媒師だぜ。いつまでね。よせよ、こんな話信じるな。悪霊、わしは偽物だ。
Just throwing it back in her face.
おばあちゃん。ごめんなさい。うちが間違ってました。だから教えて。悪霊どうしたの？本殿へ行ってみろ。クソババア！オカルに何かあったら許さねえから。
Just like trap him in there.
あいつはただオカルトが好きで、血のせいだ。うちが無理やりあんなとこ行かせたから。ごめん、オカル。オカル。てっきり自分が綾瀬さんを殺した。イライラするわ。うち超能力使えるようになった。何言ってんだおめえ。UFO に会える場所に行ってさ。
It's such a wild story.
いるわけねえだろ。わかるわ、その反応。昨日。
I completely understand where you're coming from.
超能力って力はあるだろうよ。信じてる基準がわかんねえ。しかし、ターボババアとはよ。また厄介なやつに手を出したな。ババアとか呼ばれててよ。全国各地で暴れ回ってた近代妖怪だぜ。月没の野郎が最近あのトンネルに長いこと居座ってる。一度だけ様子を見に行ったことがある。
Yeah, so this is gonna be kind of round 2.
あまりの霊気の強さにトンネルに近づくことさえできなかった。
Oh, so it's like no joke. It's a really big deal spirit.
その自爆霊があのトンネルにはいた。それがどういうことかわかるか？ターボババアと自爆霊が合体してやがったのさ。
Oh.
あれには手を出すな。わしも大事な孫を失いたくねえ。的には関係ないし、そいつのことは忘れろ。おめえは日常に戻れ。うちがラブなケンさんだったら、こういう時どうするだろうって。いつも迷ったらそう考えることにしてて、したことないの。でもさ、ケンさんなら100%だからうちもそうする。ケンさんってお前。
You mean that actor?
Clearly asked him what his name was.
仕方ね。そこまで言うな。ターボババアと鬼ごっこしろ。奴は自分の足に絶対的自信を持ってる。適当に挑発すれば必ずそれ。問題なのはここから。
And then what?
自爆霊のテリトリーは小の。そこからターボババアをシガリに誘い出す。
Oh.
捕まらずに。
Make her a lot weaker.
Well, how the hell are you gonna get... Does she have a motorcycle?
おめえらでも倒せるようになる。この足見てよ。相手に鬼ごっことか絶対無理。そんなんじゃなくてさ、とかできない？トンネルに貼るとかさ。
It's already its domain, so...
そもそもわしは手伝えねえ。は？何それ？
Why?
わしの結界術はあの力を
Oh, so then if you leave that area,
この能力は使えねえ。
that's highly unfortunate.
倒すにはこれしかねえ。今から体鍛えりゃババアから逃げられるくらいにはなるだろう。
Training arc?
うちが道場の県大会にも出れねえから。
We're just watching the run with the wind OP. Maybe it was a sign.
He has to train?
Oh.
ごめん忘れてた。ないし。全くないっす。うちが呪いコントロールしとかなきゃいけないし。 じゃあモモを背負って
いくつですか？
おい、死にてえのか？
いやー無理っすね。自分呪い状態で全力出せるの2回が限界です。
全力出せるように鍛えろ。今から腕立て腹筋背筋スクワット100回5セットだ。やれ。
It's gonna turn to One Punch
Yeah.
Man.
お前の超能力もだ。今以上にレベルアップさせる必要がある。
Really early training
で
arc.
きねえ以上おめえら自身が強くなるしかねえ。だからわしがおめえらを鍛えてやる。から始めるぜ。
What is this training gonna include? Just running? Just like she said? Just physical shit?
I guess so.
うざいっしょ。
No spells?
綾瀬さんすいませんでした。あのでかいやつと戦った時、正直必死すぎて自分のことしか考えられなかったです。ごめんなさい。
しょうがないじゃん、そんなの。
でも綾瀬さんは違ったじゃないですか。自分も助けて化け物もやっつけて。
Yeah, that was badass.
だけど次あんなことがあったら自分が綾瀬さんをだから幻滅してほしくないっす。友達をやめないでください。
幻滅なんかしないし、考え。
なんでさっきすぎて閉めたんですか？
それは
コーラ見たことがやっぱり幻滅したんだ。
違うっつってんだろ。むしろ今で。
すいません。
かっこよかったよ、戦ってる時は。でもオカルンどんくさいし、多分次もうちが助けちゃうわ。で寝て、今布団持ってくるね。
綾瀬さん。自分は喉乾いたんで水ください。
この麦茶持ってっていい？
What are those glasses? Why is she wearing his glasses?
衝撃のニュースが飛び込んできました。
You're right.
27歳だったということです。
俺がラーメンじゃなくてカレー好きってとこ。
It's every channel.
Yeah.
Just to prove she's an old lady.
オカルンが
トイレ行きたいんだって。やばい案件なんだって。障害物とかでオカルン
You gotta go to the bathroom with him.
トイレしてるとこ見てなきゃいけないんだよ。
見ろよ。
そんなもん絶対見たくない。何かいい方法ない？
I wouldn't want to pee with those hands.
そもそもおめえ
Personally.
どんな感じで呪いを
Just me personally.
オカルにオーラが見えるっていうか、
オーラ
そのオーラをギューって握りつぶすと多くなって呪いが抑えられるって感じ。オーラは誰にとはいろいろなんだけど、そこの木とか石ころにもある。私はそのオーラをつかめて自由に動く範囲を
Is she seeing this with the mask on?
超能力ってもっと万能なもんかと思って結構制約あんだね。
Wow.
Telekinesis.
すごかったのにな。それこそイメージが全部現実になる感じっていうか無敵って感じ。でもすぐに収まっちゃって今はオーラをつかむくらいしかできねえっす。
ももちょっと目つぶれ。
溶けちゃうし。
要は視覚に頼ってるからダメなんだ。もっと五感を使ってみろ。例えば触覚とかな。オーラがつかめるってことはそのまま目を閉じてオーラを肌で感じてみろ。ゆっくりと感じるんだ。
冷たい。どう？
変身してる。
ダメじゃん。
どうすんだ
Oh, he's got a shit.
トイレしてるとこ見られたのはもっと嫌だ。トイレ借りる。
てめえ人んちでクソしような。度胸じゃねえか。
こっちも必死なんだ。
I could do it in your front yard if you want.
Yeah. Hey, look.
It's working.
Yeah, the training is working.
お前が言うの。
今まで未知の体験に憧れ宇宙人に誘拐されたりとか。
マジ？
でもこれはあんまり呪いさっさと解放されたいっす。
目覚めた時無敵状態だったって言ってたな。
うん。
多分それがモモの本来の力なんだろう。封印されてるみてえだわよ。
何それちょっと
くかっこよくない？めんどくさいんだよ。力を解放していかなきゃならねえし、それがどのくらい
I wonder why it's sealed. Is it because she didn't believe or
Yeah, like,
she
it's
hated
like,
it as a kid?
こっちのセリフ
Oh my god.
ばあちゃん出たばあちゃんてめえばあちゃん
Whoa.
何してんだよ心臓をさらわせてやるってんだよわしの呪いは完成を媒介してないでは全員呪い殺せるのさ
What?
わしをなめる芸に時間なんかやらねえ今夜トンネルにこの楽器使ってそこら辺の奴ら全員呪い殺す鼻血
Whoa.
ばあちゃん
なんだこりゃ。
耳からも血出てるし頭とか痛く
もも、何があったか聞こうじゃ
Oh.
ないか。
Shit.
マジでこれ切んの？
前見づらいんですけど
そいつは悪霊よ。ちゃんと着とけよ。着ることが簡単に死ぬからね。
分かってるって宇宙人ぶっ倒してるから。
宇宙人なんかいるわけねえだろ。ふざけてんじゃねえ。あ、はい。女だからいつも厄介事持ってくんだろうがよ。そういうことを聞きやし
あ
ない。
ーうざいうざい。あの小言がうるせえな。行こうから。
もも、
だよしつけえな。
Hmm.
死ぬなよ。
Cute.
That's nice.
お願いします。どうか二人を守ってください。
Is she like sending a spirit with them, or is
Oh my
that just a
God.
prayer?
すぎるしないじゃん。マジで許さねえとアボババ。
すいません自分のために
ちげえわ。奴はうちの大切なもんを傷つけよう。アボババアの野郎、ボッコボコにしたるわい。
It's gonna be the whole episode. Damn it. This show's so good, man. This show's so good.
I just love how that cute little cat is so cute.
When are they gonna get this cat? Like either
Yeah.
one, I guess.
I hope soon. Maybe next episode.
Is that a crab? I never noticed the giant crab in the background.
綾瀬さんこんなところでまずいですよ
こんなのさっさと脱ぎたいの。
She's changing on the fucking.
戦闘服なんですよねおばあさんが着とけって
誰がそんなもん着るか。
Who the hell would wear something like that?
戦闘服ないとテンション上がんないじゃん。
何を笑ってんですか全然自分今吐きそうです
Isn't this kind of fun?
誰が手早いババって言われたんだよ。
そんなことが
Oh, crab.
Mmm.
Oh. She's just chilling there?
Hanging out.
What did she say about her? She said, like, fashion is the battle uniform for Yarus. For gals.
What a great episode again. I love I love just how ridiculous I love like like you were saying the flashback shots of her granny like 10 years ago when she looked super old and
And just
frail
like a-
and just like
like
a
an old
sweet
lady.
old lady. We need her skincare routine right now.
I mean,
Like, look at
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Hold
I
on.
mean, it's ritual sacrifice maybe to look that hot when she's, I don't know, how old she's probably in her 60s?
Yeah. She would like at minimum she would have to be 50. I love when she's like running out like, oh no, I hope he's okay, and then she like sees him and then she's like, fuck you, and slams the door. He's just sitting in there eating some rice.
Oh man, I love it. I guess we got a little bit of the power system kind of stuff, like
Yeah,
quote
how
unquote.
it's like within an area, like the Turbo Granny is extra powerful because it's attached itself to like a
To the city.
location. Yeah, to the location-based spirit that's like in this city. So then they have to make it leave, but apparently also, at least the Granny's powers, maybe also Momo's powers, are connected also to the location, which is interesting.
Well, maybe there's a lot of confluence in this, like spiritual confluence in this area then, because there's the UFO, and you know it might be other places too, but there might be something going on with this city or with this region that maybe, you know, because if like the idea then being if their powers or So you think Momo's powers are tied to this area? I thought it was just the grannies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that Momo's powers were not, but yeah. Anyway, if Momo's powers were as well, if it like follows similar rules, then there would have to be, writing wise, there would have to be some reason to not be leaving this area.
Yeah.
Which could just be a good thing. Could be like a way to like really fill out and make this place feel alive. Because they're teenagers, so I don't expect them to be like traveling Japan or something necessarily, but they could. I don't know. Just thinking about where the story could go. Like if the power systems are all tied to certain areas, then that would kind of change things. But anyway, yeah, I like that, and it's something that I always praised Jujutsu Kaisen for, was the sort of aesthetic of the power system in Jujutsu, because Jujutsu Kaisen, it's all about spirits, it's all about seals, it's all about, cursed energy. It has like aura like a Naruto or a Dragon Ball or whatever, but it's, it has rules that echo kind of just, regular real like folklore, maybe Shintoism, Buddhism, or just like ghost stories type thing. It's like congruent with that sort of logic of folk tales. And that makes and because it's all about ghosts, it makes it feel reasonable that there's like this underground society essentially that deals with all of these, threats that can't be seen or heard by normal people. And the fact that it's all like spooky, that's what I really liked about it, is that it's like aura and like Rasengans or like, all that type of shit, like anime power system, but it's spooky and like about ghosts and stuff. That was really cool. So I like that this is doing a similar thing. It's kind of in that same vein where, it has its own aesthetic, and it is bringing up things like aura and energy and things like that. But it's the fact that she gets her power as a shrine maiden, the granny does, as being tied and being sort of a it's a place of worship for the surrounding gods. That's what Shinto shrines are. So like they're dedicated to a god or to a mountain or whatever, or a forest or what have you, or the gods that watch over that area. So she, as a shrine maiden, is like a bridge between these two worlds of, the supernatural and the physical. So, she gets her power from those spirits through worship and through maintaining the shrine, this place of worship. So I like that. It feels like, I really like when, there's modern kind of fantasy things that their power system is, it takes concepts that exist in real life, literally, like ways of practice or ways that we think about spirituality, and then takes them a little bit more literally, and then that's where the power comes from. Like worship as a way to power, or seals, things like that. Like the fact that you put the seal, like it's not unique to this series exactly. It's kind of similar to something like Inuyasha or things like that. Like it's been done before, I'm saying, but I always really liked that, because it's a way to like make it feel like an adventure. It feels like wonderful. Like it feels like when you're a kid and you're thinking about, I don't know, you're getting kind of lost in fantasy or lost in like a book or something, or you're thinking about, you're playing pretend or something. Like it has that kind of vibe to it, where these kids in real life, these teenagers, are interacting with these types of things that in real life you would pretend as a kid were real or something like that. But this is them like really living that out. I don't know. That's a weird way to put it, but I think you get what I mean. Yeah. It's just really cool. And it feels it has a weight to it and a reality to it, even if it is wacky and silly and talking about weenies and all this shit. It still feels it doesn't feel like it's coming out of nowhere. It's whole cloth, like entirely made up. It feels like it's coming from something, because it is, and I like that. And I like this, as a romance. It's really it adds to it even more, because they have to be. I mean, we kind of knew this from last episode, but they're solidifying a lot of these things, a lot of like the do's and don'ts and the things that they have to do, things that they can't do. The fact that she has to be with him all times, even when he's going to the bathroom, and they have to be together all times. And if they're not, or if they're sleeping, then she closes her eyes for a second, he's already transforming. That is a very interesting way to put characters together who like are clearly have crushes on each other or whatever.
Yeah.
A romance is probably going to develop in that direction. It's you're putting them in the same situation, you're forcing them together, and I could see, I mean, depending on how seriously the show wants to get, the show's pretty like lighthearted with a lot of different stuff. Even when it gets serious, it's pretty lighthearted. So I don't know how serious they'll get with stuff like this. Maybe they will. They've shown like a capacity for emotion, like in this episode when she is saying goodbye and she gives her an earnest hug. Like the series is really lighthearted, but it has moments of genuine heartfelt emotion. So maybe what I'm saying is the idea is you're putting these characters, they're like stuck together, and maybe that will change once we get through Turbo Granny. Or maybe it won't. Maybe there will be some element of it that persists through the series. But as far as the development of their romance, because they're young and it's like, they're, if you take it sort of metaphorically, it's like, this whole thing is them falling in love, and like, not as intensely as that, but it's fast and it's explosive and there's a lot of motion and it's big fights and we're saving each other's lives and stuff like that, and it's big, and then maybe that will like crescendo and it'll just be linear. But maybe them having to be tied together will be like, maybe there'll be some conflicts, maybe they'll get in a serious fight, or one of them will do something the other one doesn't like, that like is just a full stop, and they'll have to separate or whatever. And how do now they like each other a lot, and they, despite her being kind of a tsundere, they want to be around each other a lot. They really like being around each other. What happens when that's kind of tested and they still have to be around each other without wanting to be all the time? How's that going to change?
In kind of the opposite direction, if like in this next episode, if they defeat Turbo Granny and are able to like exorcise her from him essentially and get rid of her, then they don't have, there's nothing then like forcing them to stay together 24/7.
Yeah.
So then it's like, then it's their choice to keep hanging out and keep like, being friends, and you know what I mean? Like it's like like you said, very explosive. They're like getting thrown together. They're like, whatever, like memeing, like making each other like go to crazy places, and then something really intense happens. So then they team up, and then they get stuck like that, and it's like very crazy. But then it's like, what happens after that?
When there's not that pretext.
When there's not that, we have to be together within you can't leave my eyesight for more than 1 second,
Yeah.
And then it's like, do you just go back to your normal life after that? Or has this experience like brought you guys so close that, but now it's like you were like this, and then now you're like this, instead of like previously you were like that, but there's like a little bit more distance, and then it's like, how do you bridge that distance again if you want to, or, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. And yeah, it's like they have to be together, so then it's easy for things to kind of move forward, but it's going to be a test maybe if they don't have to. What I'd be interested, now that we're like 3 episodes in, I guess, I'm interested to see where the story goes as far as day to day, because I really like that so far, the story's been happening pretty fast. It's been like a day in the story's time, but like, or 2 days now. But I really like that the story, that they aren't just like, maybe it's a weekend, but like they're not just back at school, like there's bigger things going on than going back to school. So
yes,
I like that.
I would like that to keep going, of like, okay, maybe we like, we're obviously still going to be involved with ghosts and aliens and all that kind of stuff, but it's like, I would love a thing where when something crazy is happening, they don't just go to school for no reason and like pretend like it's not happening. Here's the thing.
I think my point is, I think that they probably will, but I like this idea that, there are bigger things happening than school. I like that, but it's a manga, it's Japanese, they need to appeal to a certain audience, so I imagine they'll probably go back to school. Like even something like Parasite, not to spoil too much of it, but it's like all this shit's going on, he's got this parasite that's taken over his arm, and there's all these other parasites popping up all over the place, and it's part of the commentary that life is just going on as normal, and meanwhile there's this like apocalypse that's happening just beneath the surface. These parasites are like infesting society, and he goes back to school, and school, like everyone's just like blind to it until they're not, and it works in that story, but it is the part of the best parts of Parasite to me are when he like has to ditch school, or when he has to, you know, negotiate the normal life that was kind of taken from him, and that he's never going to be the same, and this, you know, this real reality of like having to fight these fucking parasite monsters and shit, and like survive and protect the people that he cares about. But like, you know, there's a part in the story or an arc that I always remember, and that or most of the really good parts are like when he is not just a high school student, when it's like he's driven out of it. And that's kind of in a hero's journey. That's kind of what it always is. It's like a call to adventure. But, you know, I guess I just hope that if the Turbo Granny arc ends early, or if it's something that like happens and then and then, you know, it's still gonna be an element of the story, because that's like his anime transformation. I don't think that Turbo Granny's gonna go away.
Yeah.
The other thing, like,
but I feel like they're gonna have to.
They might have to
get like a different solution to, like, she doesn't have to look at him all the time.
Yeah, there will be some kind of pact with it, especially seeing the end of the episode where Turbo Granny is like just a granny.
Yeah.
Looking, you know, maybe there will be some kind of a pact or some kind of a deal where he can have this like anime transformation, or they need to use it for some other thing happen. My point is, when this all is over, I hope it doesn't just go right back immediately to like, you know, we're going to school, and then on the weekends, you know, we're fighting monsters and shit like that. I'm okay. I have a tolerance for some of it, but yeah, I just prefer the idea that when there's things that are happening that are more important than school, you know, we don't have to like do the genre fiction thing where we like appeal to our demographic, you know, because that's what it feels like. A lot of times, that's why so many, we've talked about it for years, and a lot of people have, it's not just us, that like so many anime characters feel like they shouldn't be in high school. These kids feel like they should be in high school, but that doesn't mean that they should be in high school because of the shit that's going on. But like a lot of times the element of being in high school is like an artifact of Japanese culture, because of like, you know, how stressful work culture, people talk about all the time, how you know, the high school is like the last free part of your life if you're a Japanese kid, and then you're into college and you're waking up at 6 a.m. and not getting to bed until 1 in the morning, and working the entire time, and or going into training and stuff like that. Anyway, that's maybe over caricaturization of Japanese life, but the point is that so many manga and anime saturate the high school experience where it's not necessary, and in this case it feels like it is necessary because they're just high school kids. That's the other thing, is they feel like authentically high schoolers. They don't feel like they're anime characters or just like people that were written into high school so that, you know, the story can take place. They feel like they're flawed in the way that high school kids are, and they're struggling in the way the high school kids are. Are they even in high school, or are they in middle school? I'm pretty sure they're in high school. I thought their uniforms were like middle school. Now that I was thinking about it, but I'm not sure. Because he's got like the Mob Psycho button-up thing. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, regardless, I agree. Yeah. I feel like, yeah, they're emotionally immature in a genuine way, but they really care, and like the whole thing with the relationship with Momo and her grandma of just like, you know, like this like kind of rebellious teenager that's like, I don't believe in your shit, but she actually does, but has a hard time admitting that because it's embarrassing to care about your family when you're a kid. Yeah. So closing, I guess the point is, I'm okay if they go back to high school for a little bit, but I want there to be like something beyond it, and to feel not so pandery. I don't know. I guess that's it, but whatever. Anyway, that's long-winded, but it's more I guess we were talking about more things than just Dandadan, but yeah. I really like their relationship. I wonder, the seal thing, going back to the actual episode, the seal, and like the power was sealed off a long time ago. That must have been because she was like rejected. She was like, this is stupid, you know? Yeah. And it was just like such a intense thing that she didn't want. It's like if you genuinely believe that you could fly, then you would be able to fly, kind of thing, of like, if you, in the moment, she had all this power and she wasn't thinking about it. But then it's like, when she's rational, it's like, oh, I shouldn't be able to do this.
And she can probably, contain Turbo Granny without looking, but she doesn't genuinely believe that she can, you know what I mean? Like,
she needs to free her mind.
Yeah.
Neo in the Matrix style, yeah. I think it's maybe something like that because she was so against all the spiritual stuff because a boy made fun of her that she liked, and she, like, cursed it forever. And maybe she cursed it on herself to, like, seal this all spirituality, all psychic abilities away. And because she was a kid, it, like, her will was so one in itself. It wasn't, like, multiple minds or anything. She was so, like, I hate this. And 100% of her childhood self was just, like, I don't want this. And so and because of that psychic power, maybe she used that in that and made, like, a covenant with herself to, like, seal it away. And now she needs to constantly, like, be unraveling that slowly, piece by piece. And that's going to be her training arc over the course of it. Is she has all this power inborn, but because of her rejection of her grandmother for, like, dumb shit. And that's going to be, like, a personal journey too, because as she gets closer to that power, she'll get closer to her grandmother. And their relationship will mend even more, or she'll get closer to it. And maybe, I mean, Granny's not just old, but she's powerful. She's kind of like the Obi-Wan Gandalf style figure in this story. She's probably going to die at some point if the show takes any kind of a serious turn at all. So at that point, it'll be her link to this person that she, like, rejected while they were alive, and she'll feel regret. But as long as she keeps getting closer to her power, she'll get closer to her granny. And maybe her granny, because it's all spirituality and shit, will just be a ghost out there, or, like, be confined to the shrine or something, but, just be living there watching TV all the time. I don't know.
Granny dies, Turbo Granny gets exorcised, her granny takes over
Yeah.
instead.
What if Turbo Granny gets exorcised or, like, purified, and then Granny gets just dies and then haunts the shrine, and then they just hang out and smoke cigarettes and play, like, I don't know what old ladies play, mahjong. They just sit there and play mahjong in her coffee on her coffee table. That'd be funny.
I hope she doesn't die though. She's really funny. I want to see that cat. That's either of those cats is what I want to see.
Well, if I had to guess, can I make a prediction that might be right and might be a spoiler? No, I wasn't spoiled.
Yeah, okay, sure.
So at the end here, it's, like, scratching the ball. Where is that? It has this ball and it, like, scratched the ball. This might be Turbo Granny sealed away partially in this. So it has one ball, because in the OP there's the two balls.
Oh.
And Okarun has two balls, presumably. So maybe she gets one ball and he gets the power.
Oh, but
he just has one ball, away. But she's locked away here and living in the house.
Highly unfortunate, but would be better than nothing, I suppose.
But she gets the one ball, and he gets the powers and his one ball back. So at least he's fertile. I don't know if he gets his dick. They it's unclear whether he's full flat, because that's what Momo was intimating last episode when she was like, "Let me see," but, like. So I think, but then he still pees. So, like, I assume
it could just be like
be a hole there. I guess I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't ask these questions, but I feel like the questions are begging to be asked. But yeah. So anyway, I don't know if he has his dick or if it's just his balls that are gone. I think that it's both. But in the OP and here or wherever, the balls are represented as balls, but there's no representation for the dick in those moments. Yeah. So, like, I don't know what it actually is. And everybody's talking about the banana organs and weenies. So I would assume, but I don't know if weenie is just a funny way of saying dick and balls. Like, if it's referring to both, or if it's referring to just the weenie, because then the balls aren't in that equation unless it's a translation thing where in Japanese it's like, it's referring to just the private parts and it's all one organ together, Like, I don't know what, I don't know, it's a translation thing, but it's also, I feel like it's genuinely unclear. I don't know what's missing. And the reason why I think that might be somewhat important is because there's, like, a romance element. I'm not saying it's going to be taken that far, but the show's already pretty, like, sexual, like, in its in visually. So, like, I don't know, I don't think that it's going to go there, and I really hope it doesn't necessarily. It could go there a little bit, if it's like cute romance, or they're growing as people, I guess, is my point. But, like, sexuality is already a part of the show. They made no bones about that. So the fact that he would have a dick or balls missing, or one ball and his dick, but one ball gone, or whatever. These combinations begin to matter with not only the romance element, but the fact that the show is already so sexual. You know, maybe that will come into play. I don't know where the story's going. I don't know how deep they're going to go into all this stuff. Thinking of something like Chainsaw Man, which the author was an assistant on. You know, that sexuality, genuine sexuality, and like sexual awakening and understanding what love is versus lust, or being molested versus consensual sex, all that kind of thing. Those are real things in Chainsaw Man. So I'm not saying that just because this person was an assistant on Chainsaw Man that they need to like follow in those footsteps. But, you know, that if nothing else, even separate from the assistant aspect, there are shows, modern shows with a similar kind of wackiness that tackle similar issues of sexuality. So it's not, what I'm saying is, whether or not he has a dick and balls, or one ball, or a dick and no balls, or whatever combination they're in, matters and could potentially matter for the development of their relationship. You know, I don't know. And especially also, if you think about, it could matter.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying. I'm just trying to say that in the least weird way possible, but I ended up making it way more weird. Story of my life. But anyway, I do think this is probably Turbo Granny.
Yeah, with the little like.
And that's the idea, is that it's sealed, and then it's gonna be, maybe they will be hanging out. She'll just be like at the house. What if? No, never mind.
What?
I was gonna say, what if Granny dies
And then becomes that other cat.
and then becomes the little cat?
No.
And is reincarnated as the little cat that like hangs around the shrine. That would be super sad.
That would be too sad. That's too sad. That's too sad.
That's too sad.
We're not doing that. She's not dying. I do like the idea of that being Turbo Granny though, because like there needs to be a way that she can get like mostly taken away, but he can still use her abilities, and that would be like, if they could seal her inside of something else, and with potentially a one ball fee.
Yeah. But is that permanent?
Yeah.
Probably. Depends if the powers are permanent.
Yeah, like you could potentially eventually find some way to get rid of her, which I assume would release, or
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It would depend, because like if it might be just be a straight up deal that you sacrifice a ball and then this deal is made, and that's like a compromise, you know? And those things can be pretty permanent.
Yeah.
Because then if you go back on the deal, it could be even worse, is the thing. Generally speaking, in these types of things, but
deals with sketchy creatures.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's about good. Good episode.
Yeah,
I feel like it deserved a longer discussion, just because we're a few episodes in and we're starting to get a lot more information. So, episode W, Dandadan. Stay tuned for Uzumaki. Blue Lock's going to be a week late. Anyway, whatever. It's not time for announcements anyway. Like the video. Hope you enjoyed. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.